If you've ever gone for a hike or walk in the woods, or perhaps driven somewhere unfamiliar for the first time, if you're like me, you've probably at least once, but in my case many more times, gotten lost. And when we realize it, there's a feeling of being disoriented. That is, until we see a familiar landmark, find someone good to ask, or perhaps pull out a compass or a GPS. Well, in today's first reading, David, though he was well-intentioned in wanting to build a cedar house for God, he too needed to get reoriented, to find his way. He, like we from time to time, need to hear God's voice, maybe a second time, to understand what God would really like David and us to do. Theologians would describe that through the prophet Nathan, David is being reminded of God's divine initiative. In other words, God leads and we're called to follow. Sometimes, like David, we can forget that it's God who's given us life, that it was God who led the Israelites out of Egypt. It's God who took David from that pasture and tending sheep to be the king of God's chosen people of Israel. And I love how, in a very conversational way, God asks, did I ever utter a word to any of my judges, whom I charged to tend my people Israel, to ask this question, why have you not built me a house of cedar? Well, maybe you've had some parallel of this happen in your family. For example, you decide what your husband or your wife, your parents or your brothers or sisters could use in the form of help or something that they really need, only to find out that you weren't even close. Maybe you've heard words like this, "Are you kidding?" Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it, but what I could really use is for you to do the laundry. Or do something else that lets me to get out and just take a walk and clear my head. Well, whether it's our families or God, I think the lesson is that we can't presume to know the mind of another without making the time to ask, and then importantly, to listen. Jesus makes the same point with the parable of the sower in today's gospel. God is the sower. He's the one who takes the initiative in sowing the seed into our lives. But as we hear, that seed can fall on all sorts of ground. Likewise, God's word, his prompting in our hearts and minds, as we well know, can reach us in different states of receptivity, depending on the day or even the hour. We all know that there are some days and times when we're very open to receive God's word. But then there are also times when we're preoccupied with things like work or school, with sports, with friendships. And what we want to do is to say to God, hang on, God, not right now. I'm busy. Then there are the times when we feel exhausted, whether physically or mentally or sometimes both. And we say the same thing, like, God, please, not now. I can't handle that. Unfortunately, there are also times when we've gone through a rough patch in our lives. Times when our hearts and minds may have become hardened, when we may be skeptical. We might wonder, where has God been as we've been going through this rough patch? Is he really here for us and for our loved ones? My brothers and sisters, what God wants to do for each of us today is one thing, and that is to remind us of how he's been with us throughout our whole lives, all the way up through today and all the way into the future. He's been with us, leading and caring and strengthening us for our whole journey of life. And he wants us to realize, like he did with David in the second part of the reading from Samuel, that it is God who has built the house for us, a house of shelter, a house where we find his presence, where we're here right now. So here are two questions that we could reflect on personally and with our families. How has God led us and our families through some of the tough patches, the desert experiences in our lives? And the second question we can reflect on is, do I try to make God's word fit into my way, or am I listening with an open mind and an open heart, allowing me to follow? The good news is that God is here with us now, and He is, through His grace, opening our hearts and minds and leading us. Our decision right now is, will we follow His divine initiative? God will help us, and we will. So may God bless you and your families this holy day as we give thanks to the God who loves us in all days, in all ways.